Good morning. First light on the Staffordshire Worcestershire Canal. First cast, first bite, first fish, and I'm very pleased with this one. It's a gudgeon. I didn't have a chance to say roach or perch, which I would have gone for one of those two. Fantastic. Lovely fish, gudgeon. That's the species that started me on this journey that I'm still continuing on well into my 60s now. I'll be 64 in the spring, and every time I catch one, especially from this particular canal, I always think of my very first fish. I've said this on many occasions at the risk of repeating myself, from the Bratch near Wombourne, just outside Wombourne in Staffordshire. I'm actually in that county right now as well. It's a beautiful canal. It stretches the Staffs Worcestershire, obviously through the two aforementioned counties. This isn't a gudgeon, it's a roach. And for most of its part, it's rural. It goes through Kidderminster, outskirts of Wolverhampton, Stafford, but certainly where I live, it's countryside and fish. Talking of landmark dates, well, the one with the gudgeon was back in the 1960s. Still significant though, 22 years and 15 weeks ago today, I posted my very first blog entry. Peter Carr mentioned in the guest book that he'd been following for a number of years now. Appreciate that, Peter. Tight lines when you're out again as well. And Christian posted also, hope the information was okay. Go for it. Brooks and the River Stour, that's what it was about. As I mentioned on my last visit to the canal, swim selection becomes even more important now as we move on into autumn and winter just around the corner. Although I'm on a different stretch to my previous visit, nevertheless similar circumstances in the sense that I've got overhanging trees, in fact on this occasion from behind me and on the far bank, and they meet over the canal. That's very important, looking for cover now, because the canal, with less boat traffic and the temperature falling as well, means that the water becomes quite clear. And certainly in the morning, when it's had a whole night to settle, if you can choose when you go, I would recommend in the afternoon up to evening as opposed to first light. However, it's the latter for me, because we can't always tick every single box that we want. Even though I'm a retired gentleman, I can't always do every single thing that I want to, but it's not a problem because you work around it. And if the canal is clear, get your swim sorted. It's a challenge, but when you do catch something, then it's always worthwhile. 2 fish and 2 species so far. Where are the perch? That's what I want to know. Well, here they are. Or at least one of them anyway. That was good timing. I don't set these things up. It's just happened that way. 3 fish and 3 species. Dip on the float. Definitely another bite there. Will it be a 4th species? I don't know. Oh, well, it was a... I don't know what it was actually. It was a roach or a perch. Let's show my gear at this point. Drennan size 14 super specialist hook. I am fishing with a single maggot on some occasions because I've got some really big whites in there, but then on others I'm putting 2. So it depends on the size of the maggot. There's the anchor shot. It is the Canal after all, size 6. It's about 5 feet deep to the boat channel. There's the Drennan Crystal Waggler, shot either side, and another one about 18 inches down. Very, very simple approach. And I'm fishing over loose maggots and just to the far side of the boat channel itself. The rod is a Gray's Prodigy TX 12 foot float rod. Oh, and I've just got a bite there. Oh, missed that one. Anyway, let's carry on with this. And it's supported there on bank sticks. They don't match, by the way. I'm not fussed about that sort of thing. As long as it does the job, that's the most important issue as far as supporting your rod and getting ready to strike at bites like I just missed there. But the reel is a 3/500 Shimano, and that's loaded with Maxima Chameleon 4 pound. There are the maggots. That's the bag that I bring them in. There's the box, or the tub with brown crumb in, which I don't think I'm going to need. The culprit was no doubt a roach. If you are new to fishing and you get those lightning quick dips on the float, you strike, there's nothing there, and you've got a maggot that's been reduced to a skin, that's a roach. This is the stretch. Lots of trees there on the far bank providing cover. All great swims, and the one I'm in is where, as I've already said, far bank and near bank branches collide, so perfect. Seems to be all about the roach so far. Fall by name and fall by nature. Every time there's a gust of wind, the leaves come fluttering down. Another bite developing. I'm not showing all of these fish. Mostly small. Well, they are small. But it's been good fun. And I've still got some time left. Just a couple of hours this morning. Maybe I'll actually use the landing net. That would be nice. Is this bite progressing? Yes, it is. Let's strike and let's get nothing on the end. I don't think the maggots have been sucked though. Hopefully a big perch. And it's still there when I cast out again. I mentioned Christian just now, and while I'm fishing I had a little notification on my phone and there was a reply to my reply on the guest book on my website. Sounds like you got some really good water to go at there and tight lines as well. I'm going to reply to you right now. Actually, I am catching, but it's not hectic, so I can multitask and do two things at the same time. I wanted to use the landing net and my wish has been granted. It's not a monster, but it is the largest of the session so far. As I returned that perch just at my feet, I stepped back slightly and there was a huge commotion as the perch just went beneath the surface of the water. I can only assume that was a pike that took it. A boat has just passed through, always very welcome at this time of the year, especially with the clear water conditions, and I've got another half an hour or so to go. I tend to think of my sessions in terms of I'll stay for a couple of hours or 3 hours or whatever the case may be, but as is most often the case, like today, I can stay as long as I want, but about 3 hours, that'll be the session today. Another boat on the way, like the proverbial bus. You wait a long time for one and then they all come together. The boats are becoming too frequent now. You can see the canal there like a slow moving to medium paced river. Time to go home. I've just had a hook pull as well on a nice perch. that would have been a great fish to conclude the session with. But never mind, there's always another day, there's always tomorrow.